Hello and welcome everyone. Today's lesson is all about what is a phrase and how can we identify a phrase easily in a sentence. And after that, we will also learn all types of phrases in English language. Before we start, I must say, don't forget to download the PDF given a link in the description of some question and answers related to this lesson. Try to do all without seeing the answers and check how many of them you have answered correctly. So let's start with the definition. As I said in my previous videos also, that the definition of something is very important because it gives us the clarity, the common understanding that will never put you in trouble. Okay, so what is a phrase? A phrase is a combination of two or more words that makes sense but not complete sense. And also remember, it doesn't have a subject-verb agreement. Often, a phrase is used to describe a person, thing, animal, an event, etc. Of white color, made of gold, at that moment, and all these are called phrases. Let's look at some examples to understand a phrase even more better. He bought an expensive car last Sunday. Here, an expensive car is a phrase because it is made up of group of words. And is there any subject here completing an action? No. Remember, a phrase does not contain a subject doing an action. And one more thing, as we learned earlier, that a phrase is used to describe something. Here, it modifies or describes the verb by. Also, it does not complete sense on its own. In the second and third example, the woman in the room is my aunt and she stayed at school for few hours. Here, in the room and for few hours are called phrases. In the second example, the phrase in the room describes the noun woman, and in third example, for few hours describes or gives more information about the verb stay. She stayed for few hours. Now I am sure that you are clear about a phrase, but what type of phrases are they? Let's try to find out. Generally, there are 10 types of phrases in English: noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb, prepositional, gerund, infinitive, appositive, participle, and absolute phrase. Let me explain each and every type with examples. First type of phrase, noun phrase. A phrase that acts like a noun in the sentence is called a noun phrase. A noun phrase consists of noun and other related words which modify the noun. A noun phrase works maybe as a subject, an object, or a complement. Look at the first example. Early to bed is a good habit. Early to bed is called a noun phrase and it works as a subject in this example. Here, bed is a noun and early to are other related words which modify or give specific information about the noun bed. These words are called pre-modifiers because they go before the head word bed. Remember, words that go after the head word are called post modifiers, like people inside and the boy at the door. Inside and at the door are called post modifiers. In the next example, she is wearing a nice blue skirt. A nice blue skirt is a noun phrase and it works like an object here. Skirt is a noun and a nice blue gives us more information about the noun skirt. Okay, let's move on to the second type of phrase, verb phrase. A verb phrase is a combination of main verb and its auxiliaries, helping verb, within a sentence. In the first example, he is waiting for someone. Is waiting is a verb phrase as it contains a main verb wait and a helping verb is. So, it is simply called a verb phrase. Same like in the second example also, those boys are trying very hard. Here, the main verb try combine with the helping verb are and form a verb phrase. Next type, adjective phrase. An adjective phrase is a group of words that acts like an adjective in a sentence. It describes or adds to meaning of a noun or pronoun. Example, the boy from our city won a gold medal. From our city is an adjective phrase and it modifies the noun boy. But observe the next two examples. The angry dog barks all day long and the dog that seems very angry barks all day long. Now, if you ask me what is the difference between these two sentences, then the answer will be the meaning is same in these two examples, but the first sentence has an adjective angry, where the second sentence has an adjective phrase that seems very angry and it modifies the noun dog. Fourth type, adverb phrase. An adverb phrase is a group of words that functions like an adverb in a sentence. It modifies or adds to meaning of a verb, an adjective or another adverb. Remember, an adverb phrase is used to show or give information about how, why, where and when something happens. See the first example. Hamshad was shouting very loudly. Here, the adverb phrase very loudly modifies the verb shout, means it adds to meaning of the verb shout. The adverb phrase very loudly emphasizes how he was shouting very loudly. Alright, in the second example, the kids ran on the playground. The adverb phrase on the playground modifies the verb ran, where the kids ran on the playground. Fifth type of phrase, prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase mostly begins with a preposition and ends with an object of a preposition. That is, a noun, pronoun, gerund or clause. Example, we drove to the store. To the store is a prepositional phrase, and look at here, it begins with a preposition to and ends with an object of preposition store. The is a determiner, an article, we all know. In the second example, the cat is sitting under the table. The phrase under the table started with a preposition under and ends with an object of preposition table. Hence, it is a prepositional phrase. Next, gerund phrase. A gerund phrase consisting of a gerund, ing form of the verb, modifiers and other related words associated with the gerund. In a sentence, a gerund phrase functions like a noun and can act as a subject, an object, or it can act like a predicate nominative. Example, sleeping early at night is good for health. Sleeping early at night is a gerund phrase and it works as a subject here. It includes a gerund, sleeping, ing form of the verb sleep, a modifier, early, and other related words. But in the second example, the habit of sleeping early at night reduces the risk of cancer. Here, the prepositional phrase functions like a predicate nominative. Seventh type, infinitive phrase. An infinitive phrase is made up of an infinitive, to plus base form of the verb, modifiers, or other related words associated to the infinitive. It always functions like a noun, an adjective, or an adverb within a sentence. Example, Mr. Darren loves to play basketball. As you can see here, an infinitive phrase to play basketball preceded by an infinitive to, and it functions like a noun. Remember, if an infinitive phrase functions like a noun, it answers the question what. What does Mr. Darren love? He loves to play basketball. In the second example, I wish I had a brother to play with me. An infinitive phrase to play with me functions like an adjective here and it modifies or describes the noun brother. In the third example, to see clearly, he moved closer to the stage. The infinitive phrase to see clearly functions like an adverb here and it modifies the verb move. Eighth type, appositive phrase. A group of words that contains an appositive and its modifiers which adds more information about a noun or pronoun is called an appositive phrase. Example, a puppy named Buffy is the internet's latest sensation. Here, named Buffy is an appositive phrase because it further identifies the noun puppy, or you can say it gives us more information about puppy. In the next example, Abhinay, our class topper, doesn't like to play cricket. The appositive phrase, our class topper, describes or gives us more information about the noun Abhinay. Next type of phrase, a participle phrase. It begins with a present participle, verb plus ing, or past participle including modifiers and other linking words. Example, the men standing by the tree were quarreling. Standing by the tree is a participle phrase as it started with standing, the present participle form of the verb stand, and the phrase modifies the word men. After present participle phrase, let's look at an example of a past participle phrase. Jaspreet is interested to buy a TV stand made of wood. Made is the past participle form of the verb make, and yes, made of wood is a participle phrase which modifies TV stand. 10th and last type of phrase, absolute phrase. An absolute phrase is a group of words that includes a noun or pronoun, a participle, and linked modifiers. Absolute phrases always have a noun or pronoun. The most important thing about an absolute phrase is it modifies or gives more information about the whole sentence, not only about a noun or pronoun. Remember that. It modifies the whole sentence. In the first example, the students standing side by side sang the national song together. Student is a noun, standing is a present participle, and side by side are modifiers. Hence, students standing side by side wholly is an absolute phrase. Let's look at one more example. Her baby calmed by a toy. Kiran continued to clean the kitchen. And now you can easily identify that her baby calmed by a toy is an absolute phrase and it modifies or gives more information about the whole sentence, not only about a particular noun or pronoun. Well, that is the end of today's lesson. I hope I have managed to clear all your doubts. I am sure you will now be able to answer the questions related to this lesson confidently. If you have doubt on any other grammar lessons, visit my YouTube channel, click on the videos and learn all properly. Also, please make sure to subscribe and allow notifications to know when my next lesson is online. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you very soon in my next lesson.